Quack, quack, Jon Jones is back, giving us reasons to why he won't fight Dom Aspinall, telling us why his entire legacy needs to be built on fighting only middleweights, as he calls out another middleweight in this interview. If you look closely, half of Jon Jones' entire resume is made up of fat middleweights, really. Undersized light heavyweights. Even now that he's moved up to heavyweight, he's still calling out former middleweights to fight, to bolster his legacy, instead of fighting the interim champion of the heavyweight division, the guy that always gets the next shot, the guy that's just defended his interim title, the guy that had to fight for the interim title because you pulled out, Jon Jones. He was picking up your scraps, you idiot, and you phony. Anyway, let's get straight into the interview. One of the most shameless ducks I've ever seen, and a lot of people are going to defend Jon Jones fans. Why? Why are you defending that? Why do you want to see a middleweight, a former middleweight champion, fight Jon Jones next instead of the lineal interim champion, who should be undisputed, by the way? The fact that he defended his title is disgraceful. Let's get straight into it.
So here's the question. You're fighting Stipe Miocic, and I know you're focused on that fight. If you defeat him, as you're a 6-1 favorite to win the fight, if you defeat him, will you defend your belt against Aspinall, who has the interim title?
More than likely not.
More than likely not. More than likely not. I don't know why he speaks like that, but just straight up ducking him. He's the interim champion, the next guy in line. What are you expecting to happen? Like, you think you're just gonna beat Stipe Miocic, which you will. Stipe Miocic is an old, frail man with a walking stick. And then what? You just skip the interim champion? Tom Aspinall just hangs around, doesn't fight, just waits and waits and waits for you to end your career while you fight a former middleweight, Alex Peirera. It's just not how the sport works. For anyone saying he can pick what he wants to do or not, no, he can't. There's an actual legitimacy to the sport. This is not a legitimate sport because Jon Jones has the right to pick whatever he wants to do. Shut up, you loser. Anyway.
Likely not. I feel like Tom Aspinall is, I don't want to say nobody, but he just hasn't proven anything. He hasn't done anything.
He hasn't proven anything. I don't want to say he's a nobody, but let me just imply it. He hasn't proven anything, hasn't done anything. Alexander Volkov. Pavlovich. Curtis Blades. 2 of them in title fights. All 3 in the top 5 of the division. What is there to do? Like, 3 dudes he's beaten in the top 5 of the division. While you're fighting Stipe Miocic, who's ranked number 8, by the way. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a whole video on this, but number 8 ranked Stipe Miocic is who you're looking to fight next. You bumbling buffoon. And I don't know why he cares about legacy so much. It took so long to move to heavyweight. And not only did it take so long to move to heavyweight, the entire end of his light heavyweight run, he was going to split decisions with fat middleweights and Dominic Reyes. Let's listen.
And I understand that. I mean, he won his belt against Sergey. Sergey just got slaughtered by someone else. So it's just like, I'm not here.
That someone else couldn't make it past the first round against Tom Aspinall. Sergey couldn't make it past the first round against Tom Aspinall. Curtis Blades couldn't make it past the first round against Tom Aspinall. And you more than likely would not make it past the first round against Tom Aspinall. Stop calling out Alex Peirera to a fight. That makes no sense, you idiot.
To gamble someone else making a name off of me. I'm here to compete against the guys where when we look back, 10 years from now, it'd be like Jon Jones fought this guy and that guy and this legend and this champion and this champion.
What? What are you on about? 10 years from now, Tom Aspinall is likely going to be a former heavyweight champion, probably going to go down as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He's already beaten a majority of the top 5. Cyril Gane, realistically, is all that remains in that division that he hasn't just whooped up already. Outside of some fatties that aren't in the top 5. And speaking of this legend, this champion, and that middleweight, let's list some of the people that Jon Jones beat. Some of the legends that we'll be looking back on fondly. Lost to Dominic Reyes. Split decision against Thiago Santos. Looked like shit against Anthony Smith. Couldn't finish him. Literally one of the most soy fighters in the history of light heavyweight division. No muscle definition. No testosterone levels. No real skill on the feet either, by the way. Only has a decent jiu-jitsu game, which is kind of overrated in all honesty. Only like the lowest of IQ fighters have been able to be submitted by Anthony Smith. For the most part, Anthony Smith, jiu-jitsu, highly overrated. He can throw up. He's a fat heavyweight. A fat light heavyweight. He ain't getting his hips out like that to throw up triangles and all these things off his back. Like, oh, be careful of Anthony Smith off the ground. He might heel hook you. No, he can't. Anyway, where were we? Irvin St. Preux looked like ass. Daniel Cormier cheated with drugs, got overturned, so that doesn't even count. You can count it in your own delusional world, but that's not a fight that counts because you cheated. Daniel Cormier got his belt back because you're a cheat. These are some of the legends that he's beaten recently, by the way. Gustafsson, who he did end up finishing for what it's worth. You know, that happened. Yeah, so that was the last 5 to 6 years of Jon Jones' career. No, 7 to 8, I think. 2016, yeah. Last 8 years of his career. He's lost to Reyes, split decision, arguably lost to Santos, shit against Anthony Smith, shit against Irvin St. Preux, and didn't beat Daniel Cormier. Officially. You dog!
If there were to be a fight of a guy that's still on our UFC roster that would be not only financially worth it, but legacy worth it, it would be
Tom Aspinall.
Alex Peirera. You know, Alex Peirera and I...
Let's be honest here for a quick second, right? The biggest fight in that division right now is Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones. This Stipe nonsense in Madison Square Garden. No one cares. Even the casuals are like literally... I'm reading some casual comments on YouTube and they're all saying, why is he fighting Stipe? No one wants to see that fight. His old other Stipe was retired. One of my friends who literally knows about 7 fighters in the UFC, maybe 6. A lot of them Australian. He even was like, wait, why is he fighting Stipe? Who the... Stipe? Tom Aspinall. That's the fight he wants to see. So this big money fight, like, you're talking about money fights. This Stipe fight is a gimmick fight, first of all. This Pereira fight would be a gimmick fight because he's a light heavyweight. My God. You disgrace. He's a former middleweight. A former middleweight champion. Even at heavyweight, you're trying to fight former middleweights. You bum. And let Pereira beat Ankalaev first, if he can beat him. And then maybe he can move up and fight Aspinall. Because you know why the Aspinall fight actually makes sense? Because Aspinall's actually cleaned out the heavyweight division almost. It's just you and Cyril gone, and if Stipe decides his hip hasn't completely abandoned him. That's all that really remains. And then you got some fighters on the come up, obviously. I understand, but you know.
Okay.
37.
Light heavyweight champ.
Yeah, we're both 37 years old. Right now, I weigh about 235. I'm an incredibly light heavyweight. I think Pereira walks around at 240.
Yeah, there's no way your fat belly steroid gut weighs less than Alex Peirera, you idiot. He's a former middleweight. If you want to fight light heavyweights or former middleweights, why move up to heavyweight at all? Just to get a big fat gut on you just to prove that apparently you're not on steroids. But I'm just saying, I'm not above the idea of saying he's still on the sauce and he's still on steroids right now. I'm not above that. Because he might be, in all honesty. Like, there's no way he comes back with that fat thing and thinks he's going to have success and then actually ends up having some success. I wouldn't be surprised. And apparently USADA, they've changed the amount of steroids you can have in your body. So for all we know, Jon Jones is still popping. It's just the amounts that he's popping for is just... The steroid has already diminished by the time he's been tested. His phony legacy. Then I have to hear like some random 15-year-old say, Jon Jones is the GOAT. They've seen 3 fights of Jon Jones, and 2 of them he arguably lost. But he's the GOAT because Dana White says so, and Joe Rogan says so, and they're so easily influenced by the lies of the MMA media that are only there, by the way, to make money. Dana White is a promoter. He is there specifically to make money off of his fighters. You bet your ass if Jon Jones never moved up to heavyweight or left the UFC and beat, let's say, Francis Ngannou before ever winning the title Dana White would not be saying he's the greatest heavyweight. Before his move, Dana was saying Francis Ngannou would KO Jon Jones.
And I think that fight would go much farther on my legacy than a young man who's cool today and maybe gone tomorrow. I remember a time when
Isn't that Alex Peirera though? Like, I mean, he's only been in the UFC for like, what, like 2-3 years? Like 3 years, I think. Like, he's cool now, but he's going to be gone soon. He's 37 years old, Jon Jones. Tom Aspinall's a young gun. He's on the come up. He's someone who can realistically... You know what? If Jon Jones doesn't want to fight Aspinall, strip him of the title, and then let him just fat away his prime of his career and make no money off of fighting again. And Dana White won't do that, but Jesus Christ, the interim champion is going to sit out while you fight Alex Peirera, a middleweight. Are you hearing how stupid you sound? Do you have any clue how the sport works, my guy? Like, the sport does not just say, oh, well, okay, well, you're fighting Alex Pereira. Tom Aspinall, do you want to defend your interim title one more time? Here's Cyril Gahn. Oh, what's that? Jon Jones is still not ready. He pulled out with an injury. No, Aspinall, we don't need you to step in or anything. That wouldn't make any sense. How about you fight, Tai Tuivasa? That makes sense. On short notice.
the whole world thought Johnny Walker was going to be the guy to beat me.
Why bring that up? Who cares? I didn't think so. And my opinion is the only thing that matters, in my opinion. A bit of a tongue twister I just said there, but I don't care. Johnny Walker, those people are stupid. The MMA world is just so in the, oh, well, he'll become champion. They do the same thing with Kamzat and Bo Nickel and all that stuff. Oh, he'll be the champion in the future. Of course he will be. Shut up. No one with a half a brain cell thought Johnny Walker would do that to you. We saw his regional fights. He was a walking fall. He was honestly an inflated tube man in most of his fights in the regional while he was getting KO, just going up and down and up and down. No one thought he was going to beat you, other than some idiots on the internet who probably did. But who cares? Who cares about their opinion? They're the same people that think Dana White has any credibility in what he says when it comes to legacies. They're the same people that are just like spewing out vomit that Usman's the greatest welterweight. And I love Volkanovski, but he's not the greatest featherweight. And that's something they're pushing as well. Adesanya's the greatest middleweight. Usman's the greatest welterweight. Ngannou's the greatest heavyweight. I feel like I've specifically called someone out. And if you're watching this, you know who I've called it out. If you know this person. I just hear them say it a lot and it's annoying.
And no disrespect for Johnny Walker, but I mean, we all have seen the way his career's played out. I've just been here too long.
Johnny Walker never beat a top 5 ranked light heavyweight. And even if he did, light heavyweight shit. Tom Aspinall's beating everyone in the first round. Johnny Walker got beat by Nikita Krylov, who wasn't top 5. Tom Aspinall has beaten 3 top 5 ranked heavyweights. And if we go down the rankings from the top 5 to top 10, he's also beaten Tybura. Now that he is, what's his name? Pavlovich? No, not Pavlovich. Obviously, Spivak. He's beaten Sergey Spivak. Might have beaten someone else as well that I'm forgetting about. Can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, shut up.
To get all excited about someone who's hot today. I'm here for legacy. I've been gambling.
No one cares. Anyone with half a brain cell knows this legacy is fucking bullshit. Anyone who's on the Jon Jones side and saying this is some high-level legacy, they don't deserve to talk about MMA anyway. They're probably casuals. They don't actually look at like your resume as a totality and your performances. They just look at what you did recently. They just look at you beat the people that are saying Ilia Topuria is a top 10 fighter of all time. I'm calling on Lucas Tracy right now. Lucas Tracy, you're a fucking casual. Shut up. Shut your face. You can't. There's no longevity there. Like whatever.
For way too long to just take random fights.
Well, I'm part of the whole world, and I did not think Johnny Walker was going to beat you, but we'll go there.
Kevin Ioli is also a bit of a shill. Like, he doesn't ask Jon Jones any of the hard questions. Jon Jones just they're laughing there. Like the brain-dead idiot that he is. Steroid-minded. Low IQ. Bastard. This is really frustrating because now I know what to expect. So long I've heard Jon Jones is going to retire. I'm thinking, it's bullshit that he's retiring. But you know what? He's done enough in the sport where if he calls it quit here before like the sport catches up with him, it is what it is, you know, like it is what it is. But now I'm hearing that he wants to make more money, do this, do that, do all these other things, but not fight Tom Aspinall. I'm just pissed, and I don't think Dana White's going to go for it. I hope Dana White just cracks his whip on his head, makes Pereira versus Aspinall, honestly, as like Aspinall's first undisputed defense, because he should get promoted to undisputed status. If Jon Jones doesn't want to fight him, give it 6 months. If he hasn't accepted the fight, Tom Aspinall's undisputed, International Fight Week, Pereira versus Aspinall. Just do it there and just rub it in Jon Jones' face. And then diminish his legacy. Just go out on a limb. Tom Aspinall's a nice dude. He's not going to do it. But Tom Aspinall needs to go out there. Tell Jon Jones to his... Not to his face, but like over the microphone. Looking at the camera. Staring into Jon Jones' soul. And say, you are a fat steroid pig. And honestly, Ciryl Gane is trash. Look at what I'm about to do to him. Then call out Ciryl Gane. Beat him in the first round. Then after beating him in the first round, go back onto the microphone and say, Jon Jones, this is your last chance to take the fight with me. If you don't take it, you're a duck. Quack, quack. Your legacy is bullshit. You fought middleweights your entire career. I'm actually beating proper heavyweights in my own division. No light heavyweights coming up here to fight me. But if there was one that I would allow to even breathe the same air as me, it would be your fat, steroid-bellied ass. Screw Jon Jones, fight Aspinall, you duck, and stop building your fake legacy over fat middleweights. Even though Pereira is shredded to the bone, I actually respect him quite a bit. For the most part, stop picking fights with middleweights. They're too small for you. Pick someone your own size. Because you're a huge dude. You're probably Aspinall size. I'm not buying this 235 bullshit that he's trying to sell. He was probably walking around 235 with that belly on him. Like, imagine that. He bulked up for 3 years, ate nothing but pizzas and pasta and spaghetti. And now we're just meant to believe, you know what? This Jon Jones guy, I think I do believe him. 235 pounds sounds just about right. Blachowicz was almost 230 fighting at light heavyweight. What are you trying to pull here? You're at least 250. Alright, I'll see you next time. Annoying. 97 subscribers, get me to 100. YouTube won't promote me. So share this video. Even though I don't like it being shared. But just share the video. Get me 100 subscribers, please. I'm getting desperate now. Been at 90 for a while now. For a week at least. Bye.